Mr. Morgan's class is studying explorers.
Right now they're talking about Matthew Henson and his trip to the North Pole. Let's listen in.
Matthew Henson is the first person to reach the North Pole and plant the American flag. Who wants to know when he did that?
I know. It was in the spring of 1909, April 6th, I think.
But he started preparing for that historic moment long before that.
This wasn't his first trip, Mr. Morgan. He and Captain Perry had tried many times before, but they always had to turn back because they ran out of food.
That's true. And on one trip in the spring, melting ice forced them to turn back.
In 1909, they made it all the way to the North Pole.
Did you know they had been trying to reach the North Pole for 18 years?
Why is that such a big deal? Everyone knows what snow and ice look like.
Matt, don't you want to learn about one of those famous explorers?
Gee, it's not as if he went to the moon or someplace really cool like that.
But Matt, it's really cool at the North Pole. It's about 30 degrees below zero cool.
The North Pole is the most remote place on Earth. Those men were very brave to make that trip.
Right, Hank. Matt, did you know that no one ever tried to go to the North Pole by dog sled again?
Since then, people have flown over the North Pole or reached it by ship, but no one has ever followed the same path as Matthew Henson and Robert Perry did. No one dared to.
Back then, they didn't have airplanes to rescue them. They couldn't call for help either.
I still don't see what the big deal is.
Don't you? You don't? Well then, Matt, I have an idea that might change your mind. Tomorrow, I want you to report to the class on the legendary trip of Henson and Perry.
But Mr. Morgan...
First thing tomorrow, Matt.
At the end of the school day, the students in Mr. Morgan's class went home.
All except Matt, that is. He went to the library. He knew he had to do research to make his report.
There was a whole shelf of books about Matthew Henson.
Maybe Matthew Henson was the big deal. Matt checked out several books. He went home and read until he fell asleep and dreamed. Gosh, I'm cold. It's freezing. Why is it light outside? It's nighttime.
It's light in the Arctic almost all night in the summer, just like it's dark all day in the winter.
We waited for the spring and the light. We spent 6 months in the fall and went out at race camp. We made plans for the trip, and Matthew built sleds and hunted in the dark.
Who are you?
Where am I?
You're part of the expedition to the North Pole.
That's Matthew Henson and Captain Perry. I'm Utah. Mr. Henson's name is Guy. And that's Captain Perry. He's another explorer.
We're all alone out here?
There are 4 other explorers helping us. Each one did a leg of the trip and turned back.
Each one brought food and supplies and built a camp for the next one to use. That's how we've gotten this far.
It takes a lot of people to make this trip like this.
I'm hungry. I want to go home. Not yet, Matt. Wait, we might as well eat and get on our way again.
Have some pemmican.
Blech, this is awful. What is this stuff?
It's dried walrus meat, made from powder and mixed with fat. I made it myself at base camp.
It's the only way to eat out here. Matthew is the best trapper and hunter. He's also a great cook.
On to the sleds, everyone. I want to keep away from the leads.
What are leads? Leads are lanes of water made by melting ice. I fell into one a few days ago and almost died. Matthew Henson saved my life.
Matthew Henson has been with Captain Perry for 20 years before the Arctic explorations. They spent 2 years in Central America.
There's no better Arctic explorer than Matthew. I depend on him for getting our food, handling the dogs and sleds, and using the compass. He even knows how to build igloos.
Henson is a true friend of my people. He has learned our language as well as our ways.
Better get going, man. I have to head back. Melting ice turned my igloo into an island floating out to sea. Good luck. I know you can make it.
I'll go back with you. No, stay. We're getting close.
I tested the depth of the water of the sea. It's more than 9,000 feet deep here.
Shh.
Can you hear the cracking? There's cracking. More leads are opening.
Oh no, I'm out of here. I'm waking up right now.
And so he did.
The next morning, Matt rushed into Mr. Morgan's classroom, bursting with good news. Mr. Morgan, I've changed my mind. I think Matthew Henson is an amazing explorer.
Okay, Matt, slow down. Tell us why you think that.
Matt told the class about the books he'd read and the dream he had. He talked about how hard the trip was, how cold it was. He described the melting ice in the sun in the Arctic night.
He explained how brave and smart Matthew Henson was.
He reported that Matthew Henson and Captain Perry were the only ones to reach the North Pole.
Wow, Matt, what a story. How did you know about the sun being out all night in the summer?
Yeah, we didn't learn that in class, did we, Mr. Morgan?
No, but Matt did a lot of reading last night, or perhaps that explains it, or perhaps he dreamed, or his dream made him think he was there.
Mr. Morgan, trust me. I know I was. I can still feel the cold and taste of pemmican.
Pemmican? What's that?
Dried walrus meat mixed with that. It's really good.
Oh, yuck.
Did I do a good job on my report, Mr. Morgan?
You did very well, Matt. And now, who wants to go to the moon?